Hi, I'm Johnna.
And I'm Aaliyah, and welcome to Lit and
Lit and Loud. My curtain fell again.
Dim and quiet.
Welcome to the Dim and Quiet
That's
podcast, where my curtain won't stay on the window.
Or like bright and it's another adjective for loud.
Vibrant?
Sure.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Visual.
Bright and noisy.
Noisy. That's a good one.
Yeah. Welcome to the Bright and Noisy podcast. We're your hosts, Johnna and Aaliyah.
Yeah.
We should come up with a different lit and loud moment for the beginning of every episode.
We should.
The Bright and Noisy podcast.
It's like how you give your pets like 18 nicknames and they just start morphing into something completely that's different from theirs. Their original name. I'm
exclusively calling Holly Stinky right now, so.
Stinky. That's a good one.
Stinky.
I'm looking at my own Stinky.
I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot better than I was approximately 4 hours ago. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I have like just, life.
Yeah. There's just enough fuel in the tank. We're hanging in there. But there's nothing a Kiki with your friend can't actually fix, so.
You mean my Wednesday, we're recording on Wednesday today, my Wednesday therapy, like I truly I leave and I'm like, okay. So, bless
Aaliyah talked a headache out of my brain, so we're locked in, baby.
Listen, a healer, a girl's girl, we can get through anything, doing Reiki, even a migraine.
From states away.
A Reiki practitioner.
She's working.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a mystery to me because I'm looking at our notes. What are you reading?
I am still working on Butcher's Masquerade by Matt Dinniman. I am in the part where he just judged the kids' coloring competition.
Oh my God. So good.
I know some like real fuck shit's about to go on, but I love the turn that's happening right here because it's just so funny that he's sitting on a panel judging coloring sheets. It's really popping me. I know that something just abysmal is gonna happen to him when he leaves the conference, but the thought of him like at a convention is so silly because this book puts us in situations all the time where we're in this dystopian nightmare, and then the thought of him on the floor at a con is comedy. So
right, with all these little
really
alien children
up. Yeah. Okay.
We're back in.
What are you reading?
I am reading two things. I finished. I'm only bringing it up because like it's fundamentally so different from the physical book. But the audio of "You Won't Forget Me," our current book, came out yesterday, and I literally hit play at 8 a.m. and I just listened to it all day. It is excellent. I see the characters so vividly too in a different way, and it just like really affirmed to me that like I am such a true audiobook listener, and it makes me like resonate and absorb a story, which is absorb a little that's a little bit like definitely live in the story a little bit better. The music elements in it, without saying too much because I know you're gonna get in. Yes, so the musical elements in it, it's actually, the little blibs with the lyrics, there's a whole percussion band behind it, which is so cool. Like if she's humming something and like or talking about lyrics in her mind, like she's singing them, the narrator. So was very into that piece of it, and especially at the end. So the end, you get like a pretty good idea of the whole situation. So I loved it. I love the audio. I loved the narrator. It put these characters in such vivid colors for me. So 10 out of 10. Literally ripped through that 7. I think I have like 7 hours left of it, and I just like read it all day. So big fan of that.
I cannot wait
to
get in there.
I cannot wait to hear your thoughts.
I have a hold on it. I'm probably going to go after Audible though because I'm impatient.
Same. And yes, the second book I finished was an ARC I received, and also a Pride read. So I'm like catching up to Johnna's impressive fucking Pride reading.
I totally fell off, so you're good.
I read the Disaster Gay Detective Agency by Rosen, and I am just so in love with how Lev writes characters. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty because we'll talk about it later because it'll be definitely one of my top ones of the month. But I just love the way Lev honors a character in its whole. And the big thing about this book for me, it wasn't really about the actual story that unfolds and this like mystery that kind of unfolds. It's more so about each of these characters' lives and like their own complex situation that kind of is you get informed about by this experience. So I love it. There's a lot of character
and this is a
development.
very different tone than Lavender House, correct?
Yeah, it's a completely different tone, not historical. So like we're talking Lavender House, there's a big historical fiction like element in that, and then the queer characters are built from that. And I do think they write wonderful characters in that too. I think this is just so it feels very like new and it feels very current, which is like strange for me, but it is 100% Lev's writing, and I really just enjoy the characters that I am given. So 10 out of 10 for that. That was a 5-star read for me. Absolutely ripped through it. Oh, and the audio, it is narrated by multiple folks. So there's about 5. Ooh. There's 5 different folks in there, and it's interesting because they also speak through text threads that get revisited to like by the character on the other end. So there's like layers in how they like interpret things too. It's just really well done, and then like the narration on top of it was so thoughtful. So loved that. Cannot wait to talk about more of it in detail at the end of the month. But
I
moving
put
right
in
along.
an ARC request today for a book that had like 5 different narrators, and I was like, ooh, give this to me. It's called Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep. It's like a horror novel.
Ooh.
Which is my origin story. I saw it somewhere and I was like, I want to read that. And the audio is on NetGalley. So I'm like, glad please give this to me.
I'm glad you're joining in on this because there is a little bit something special when you get an arc and it hits and you're like part of it before it even is published. Like it really tickles me. So like getting back on there for like some of our efforts to read some new stuff coming out. And then on top of that, trying to fix my score. Like it's been fun. And it also makes me feel like I'm ahead of the curve. I'm just like, always people are posers once it comes out. Like that's the
right. But it also it stretches your brain different to need to leave a good review.
Yeah, I'm like same
because
way
I'm not
writing
a review
book report. Yeah,
I'm like pulling my computer open, like holy shit, I loved this, and here's why.
And capturing everything you loved. So I think about the like when I finish it, I just can't like move on to the next thing. I like have to sit with it. I finished the Disaster Gay Detective Agency in the evening after I finished You Won't Forget Me. So it was like a double whammy of things. I was like, you got to think about it. So it wasn't a heavy book day today.
Sit in it. Today. Stew in it.
Stewing. I listened to some podcasts. What are you watching, friend? I know what you're watching.
Oh, yes. I have started Interview with the Vampire, which your girl loves. This is a Pride watch. I can't believe no one has ever told me about this show.
I can't believe I didn't. This is crazy.
We got AMC Plus because Gabe went, I'm getting AMC Plus. And I went, why? And he went, it's $24 for the whole year. And I was like, sorry for talking shit. You're right. We should get AMC Plus. So I keep getting all these ads for season 3 of Interview with the Vampire, which is renamed. I don't remember what it is, but here's everything I know from it as someone who just started the series. So first of all, I thought it was a different series that was like a spinoff. It is not. It is the same series. It is season 3. Yeah. They renamed it because Annie Rice has a book by the same title, and they are honoring her books, which I love. Love the idea of that. All I see is this like 80s rock star vampire fronting a band, and I'm like, very Lost Boys, like all in, like say no more. This is for me. So I click on the first episode, and it's like on the last 2 seasons of Interview with the Vampire, and I was like, hold on, what's happening here? And I immediately
this reminds me of Fleabag. This is like Fleabag.
You can tell that story after this.
Yes.
I'm like, that's so weird. And then I like look up, like, do I need to watch Interview with the Vampire to carry on? And they're like, yes, it's the first 2 seasons. And I'm like, okay, don't treat me like I'm dumb. It's 2 different names. But I got in with Interview with the Vampire, and like instantly it is gay vampires and say no more. And there is something that like reminds me of some of my favorite elements of Coffin Moon in this. Like there is I'm eating. I'm feasting, if you would. So I'm very excited about this. My night got like taken out of my hands last night, and I didn't get to watch an episode, and I was really bummed. But I am really excited to keep watching this. I have pushed aside new 90 Day Fiance on behalf of catching up with Interview with the Vampire. So I'm almost tempted to read the books, but I've seen a lot of things saying that this is a better adaptation. They were like, is it the same? No, but it's better. And I'm like, ooh, I love a hot take.
Yeah, I've heard that as well, because I fell in love with it too. Yeah, I ripped through it in like a week, both seasons, because so this same thing's happened to me when the second season came out, because I was like, who is the star? And I was like, it was the second season, I think, will hit even better. I think season 1 is so establishing. So like you're getting world building, you're getting character establishment.
I think I'm 4 episodes in. 3 or 4.
I can't wait.
I know you're so far away from it.
I know. I don't want to. I season 2 is really what like I think pushed this for a lot of people. It has a crazy fandom. So like the Lestat girlies are fucking unhinged, but like
present.
Like vampire.
I looked at that fucker and I was just like,
yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I love a man with hair.
Just the audacity. He is ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
That diva.
And there's this. So the other element you're going to love about this is the deep, and I mean just fucking festering yearning that's happening in this show. It is so thick, it's so rich. The second season is just set up like this, and there's so many surprise elements too, which is fun. So you're getting this like mystery element. Top 10. I haven't started the third season. It's on my radar. You can get AMC Plus for 30 days, so I was gonna like let 2 episodes come out and then like jump in. But I want to be part of the conversation. I might just buy it for $25. But yes, that you will feel very fed. I'm very excited for you.
I immediately, like, y'all know how I feel about queer men. Like, that just hit in a way that, like, the second we were in New Orleans, I was like, yes. And then we meet Lestat. I'm like, yes.
The scenery too.
Yes. Oh,
the scenery is really cool.
It is good. It is shot so well. It's beautiful. The dialogue is good. All of that in a way where that middle of that first episode, I was like, why is no one talking about this? I'm home alone with my cat. Like, why didn't I know?
People are talking about it. You'll get hit with all of it. Your algorithm's going to be insane. So like it has been insane for me because I've
100%
been tapped in. But yeah, I'm so excited. I cannot believe I didn't tell you about that. And it's like vampires too, which is like a little special. I'm going to say that's one of our special interests. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. In the freaky way too. Like not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I love them. And they're yearners at heart. Like vampires have so much time to like yearn and like,
correct. They have a completely different visualization of time than us.
Right. Yes. So Fleabag, I had watched Fleabag and I had messaged Johnna and I was like, you need to get in here. It is probably some of the best television I've ever watched. It was literally right after the priests. If you know the scene, it's the scene in the church. Okay. And if you don't know, you don't know. Watch it. But the scene in the church, I stopped it after I was finished. I stopped and I said, I have to tell John about this. And I was like, get in here. Second season. She starts it and she is like, I don't get, like, this is good, but like I'm very confused on timeline. I'm like, what are you not getting? Like it's very clear. There's a little bit of like timeline jump in the first season. So I was like, maybe she's just confused, but I was like, she's a smart person. So this shouldn't be complicated.
This is a humiliating experience.
Out of your hands completely, but against her will, Amazon Prime just absolutely showed her episodes out of order. They bounced from like season 1 to season 2 and out of order. Like, I don't know what setting they had put you on, but they set you up for failure.
What had happened was I was sharing the Amazon Prime account
that's right.
with someone that had watched selective episodes. Like, they went back and rewatched like 7 episodes. So I hit all the ones they didn't watch in order.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
And like, we're talking Priest was their second episode. Season what I think is S1E2. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
And then I go back and watch it in order and I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially that second season. I was like, you need to erase your brain and like go back and dig in the proper way.
I was so confused I didn't actually have to erase it.
Good. I'm so glad. But
what are you watching over there?
I am only watching one new exciting thing, and it is The Burbs. It is on Netflix. Did you were watching this, were you? Am I correct in thinking that?
Are you talking about The Burbs or The Burrows?
The Burbs. The Burbs is with Keke Palmer. That's who I'm watching.
That's on Netflix?
Nope, Peacock.
Okay. I was like, I don't think that's on Netflix. Okay. Yes. I watched this, but I think Gabe and I have 1 episode left.
Yeah, we are very much so into it. It's like a spooky ooky. It's got Keke Palmer, but like Keke Palmer in this way. Jot that down. But Keke Palmer in a way that I love her. She is just like, she can be put in anything and I'll watch it. Like, I just think she's so talented. But the whole neighborhood dynamic too, all of these like characters. You have what's his face from, oh my god, the other vampire show, Carl Robinson.
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows, who also plays
Special interest,
bitch. All this fucking vampire shit, which that I could rewatch that soon. That would be a good rewatch. But there's just so many funny players. The fucking lesbian ex-Marine or whoever it is she is hilarious.
Did you watch AP Bio?
No.
Dennis from Always Sunny is in it, and he plays a biology teacher that ends up in Ohio is a biology teacher, but he like got kicked out of Harvard. And it's very School of Rock. Like, he just makes the kids do his special interests.
Yeah. We are deeply obsessed with the show. I think it's so funny. I don't know what's happening quite yet, but it's like a mystery whodunit. Maybe something's happening. So get into it. It's so good. Keke Palmer too.
Paula. Her name is Paula Pell. And she lives somewhere in upstate New York with her partner. She's incredible. But she plays the high school office secretary named Helen in AP Bio. And her character is just as perfect as like just the kooky lesbian. And just I love her in AP Bio because she's just a gay character, and it's not like, oh shit, the office lady's gay. She's just like, oh yeah, my girlfriend, we're blah blah blah, and I'm like, love this energy.
Yes, more of
really
that.
Like that show. Love her. Love her so much.
She hit us with the line, like she responded to Keke and she was like, do white people like salad? Of course. Like, that's like the dialogue she has. And Drew and I've been saying that all week. We're like, do white people like salad? Funny. Like, just the hilariousness. And they bounce off each other. So like the way that they all bounce off each other is perfection. So it's very like Thursday Myrtle Club, like that kind of energy. All these like unlikely characters together working on something that might be a mystery. But yeah, I love Keke Palmer and I will tout anything she's gonna do. I love it.
Hopefully we're touting Sean Evans. She's gonna do him.
Please. He treat you so right, you know?
So right.
What are you obsessed with, ma'am?
I'm obsessed with one thing, contrary to what my notes say, which is nothing. I am obsessed, not to surprise anyone, that Taylor Swift arrived yesterday at the Toy Story 5 premiere and not only performed her song that she wrote for Toy Story 5, I guess it's the end credits song or the end of the movie, but she performed that, and she performed You've Got a Friend in Me with Randy Newman, which is crazy. Like, he played piano and sang, and she stood there in a beautiful dress and sang. She brought her childhood VHS copy of Toy Story and had the whole cast sign it on the red carpet.
Cute.
And there were just so many like really cute moments from it. But something else that I learned today that I just love. I'm a Taylor Swift apologist. What do you want? I think she's incredible at what she does. She is the only other songwriter to ever work on the Toy Story franchise besides Randy, which I didn't realize. On the Toy Story 4 soundtrack, there's a Chris Stapleton song, and I guess Randy wrote that and then gave it to him to perform. But Randy gave Taylor his blessing specifically to write and produce a song with Jack Antonoff, obviously, to put on this. So the credits for the song are so funny because it's like singer, songwriter, guitar, Taylor Swift. And then it's like percussion, harmonica. Like, there's 15 instruments and Jack played all of them. Like, it's just really funny. But I think the song's really good, and it just tickles me because it's the Toy Story soundtrack is so iconic, and it sounds like a Toy Story song, but it also sounds distinctly Taylor. Like, I woke up this morning, and the first thing in my head was the chorus of that song. Like, my eyes opened and it was like, I knew it, I knew ya. And then I opened up Instagram and saw that she showed up at the premiere, which happened in the middle of the night for me. It was in California. And I was like, I'm so fed right now. So any day we get high res of the Queen, I'm like, cool.
Perfect crossover. I know, that's how I feel about Beyonce. Yeah. When she's like, here's more liquor, I'm like, thank you so much. I got to see your side boob.
Yeah. If there is going to be more happening folding Taylor into the Disney sphere,
that's a big move.
Because this feels like a big step, but they had all the Eras Tour costumes on display at Hollywood Studios. There's like all these things that I'm like, where are we going with this? Because I never trust what she's doing to be it.
Yeah.
Because she has fostered absolute ravenous fans. So I'm very curious if there's more, but also in my head, the theater that those costumes were in is the theater directly outside of Toy Story Land. And I'm like, was that an Easter egg in itself that she was going to be partaking? I'm down.
That's how they have us. That's how they have us.
Yeah, they got me, bitch.
You know me, fucking, I'm a 1975 fan. So like June 1st, I was ready there. I don't know if you know about this, and not to speak on the 1975 right after Taylor. I'm so sorry. Okay. But like we're prisoner to these fucking fandoms we're in. Cause I'm like, oh, I got to check what's going on. They're going to do something. They always do something. It has something to do with their name and whatever. But like, it is so deeply ingrained in us. Like, that's how I feel about Beyonce. Like all this Act 3 stuff, like people are waiting. Jay-Z went on tour. He's releasing a new album, and
it's like a dog whistle. Waiting. You're like
sleeper agents. I'm like, I'm just waiting to be fed.
Literally, yes.
Yes. And also feels like because there's nothing on the precipice. Like, do you feel that too? Like, there's nothing that you're like waiting for to come out. There's nothing that's like big about to happen. So I'm like, can it just happen? I feel like I'm being teased.
Right. There's no. I mean, I hope if she wants to release music, great. But she released 2 albums really quick. Went on the highest grossing tour of all time. Like, go get married. Go take some rest. If I don't see you for a long time, that's fine. But also, if you want me to see you or you want to make music, I'm here to receive it. You let me know.
Look at you, a healthy minded person.
I'm a lady in waiting.
Real.
What are you obsessed with?
I'm obsessed with the chiropractor. I mean, it's been 2 days since we've talked, and I got adjusted again. I feel normal. I can turn my head. I
don't tempt fate.
I know. Well, I have been a couple times. I'm like a little too fast. I'm like, slow down there, buckaroo. Ooh. But no, I'm super. There is something. I've realized I've collected all of these little queer providers. My therapist is gay. My chiropractor's gay. Who else? Someone else was like very gay in my healthcare team.
That's what happens when you move to the big city.
I gotta say that's the one thing that's been super positive about moving to this area is that I have access to things that I truly just would never have access to living where we lived. So I feel very grateful. The baby's on a pad. Hi, princess. Twice in a row. I feel so lucky to see you.
It's because the door's open. Because no one's here to come in here and yell.
Right. But yeah, I am collecting providers on the queer spectrum, on the LGBTQ alphabet mafia spectrum. So yeah, no, I'm just very grateful
gang.
for it. Just reminds you like, oh, I am so lucky to be able to move in the way that I can. And like now I'm like, all right, move your body more and like take it. It's like a reality check. It's like, well, you hurt yourself brushing your hair. Like that is probably a thing. So I did set up like care with her, and I'm going to see her frequently for some other stuff like my hips and whatnot. So just grateful. And
good.
You
love
know
that.
So that's all I have. I'm not obsessed with anything. Like I said though, like I'm not being fed, so once one of my fucking evil demon billionaires gives me something, I will be very excited to receive it.
Felt. Very much felt. We're obsessed with trying to find outfits for Book Fair at Bel Air. Actually,
I'm obsessed with someone giving, literally just price it properly. We are dopamine dressing girlies. You know what? This is actually something we need to have. I know you're not trying to make this a long episode, but dopamine dressing is a fucking sham.
Shit.
It is a sham. We are Facebook group people, and like you get in the resale, you get in specific groups. I'm in like 3 different groups for specifically new works, or whatever. They are they retail way too pricey in my humble opinion. You're not using quality fabrics. Like the girlies that are doing some like made to order quality fabrics, they like linens. I understand if you're charging what you charge, and I just understand.
Do you have anything from them?
I don't. Now that you do,
I have to show you this dress.
Tell me.
Okay, so if you don't know about New Works, it's handmade.
Yes.
In the USA, which is great. However, I ordered this dress. This dress retails for $148.
They range $140 to $170. Depends on like what material they're using.
Okay, so she's cute.
She's spilling the beans.
Print is very cute.
Deeply obsessed with this print. It's called Wormyverse.
It's not lined. Like this is the dress. It is see-through. It is not lined in any way. It does have like this little banding to keep structure around the neck and arms.
Which is good, yeah.
But this dress is unlined, see-through, no zipper, pullover. $150.
Right. And so this is like one example of this. It's gorgeous. The print is amazing. The artist who did it, wonderful. Right. Like I love all of that. And that's like that's what you're like working towards. The problem is, and like this goes for like the plisé pets, or set, excuse me, where they're like, it's like that very
is that
tight.
How that's pronounced?
Plisé?
I just say plis.
It feels French. I just say plus. Oh my god. No, I think it's like please. It's like very French. Nonetheless, they're like the tiny pleated, the little pleats, and they're like, I'm gonna say something, and like I don't want to be judged. So like, if you're here to judge me, I understand. I've bought from Shein before, and it's the same motherfucking material as the like little pleated material. I have a pair of shorts I've had for literally 7 years, so clock that.
Yeah,
but the same pair of shorts.
It's only fast fashion if you're throwing it away,
guys. So like I'm like looking at these sets, like this is the same thing, and the only difference is like the cool prints and like all of this, but they are charging like exorbitant amounts of money for something that I feel like is just not polyester, you know,
polyester. So this I saw on Depop yesterday. Someone was selling it for $23 because they bought it on Shein, and I image searched it, and it sold out on Shein, but there's like 5 dopamine clothing vendors selling it for over $100 using the same image.
Right. And so that's the other level of this. It's like the folks that are not creating their own prints and their own fabrics and like just choosing shitty fabrics. They're just selling the same drop is it drop shipping if it's closed too? I don't know, but same thing. So it's just like frustrating
Right.
to be in, and also being in a bigger body, and also like playing that like sizing game with this stuff. It feels very inaccessible. So like you are having
Yeah.
sizing issues, you have 7 inches between two sizes that you have to decide on. It's like, it just is
Right.
frustrating. And I
And
understand this is
I
like
think
not a real issue, but it is.
it is. And I think I mean, everyone deserves to have clothes that fit their body and they feel good in and that they
Absolutely.
represent themselves. I have always expressed myself through clothing, and it's like so frustrating too, because when you go on and look at these companies and look at resale, like on Depop or Poshmark, because I would say I buy over half the clothes I have secondhand.
Same. That
It's
stuff.
you can find something really cute from Dressed in Lala in an extra small for $35, and then the same dress in a size that would fit me or you is 90, and it has
Yep.
pit stains, and I'm like,
And
come
pilling.
on.
Yeah, and then I also
Yes.
think like people who resale, like you're talking about like two different people. You have like regular people just selling their clothes, and it's like you don't know how they're treating them. But then you also have like the resellers, and like their kind of whole, that is like a different like battle in general. So I've just been griping. So if anyone has the Wormyverse print in any type of garment for real, I am literally scrounging the internet. I did find that cool site that had, it was like a dedicated resale site for them, but the groups are always tricksy. You're always fighting for your life. You don't know what's going to be there, and like I'll go reverse search sometimes in the group and see if anyone's even posted about it in a while. And for some reason, I think it's because this print is very cute and I love it a lot. But like some of the very sought
I think it's
after
like
garments,
newish too, so
yes,
people aren't reselling.
yeah. So just looking for that. It's going to be really cute. We're going to do the same print in like 2 different garments. That was going to be our vibe for Book Fair at Bel Air, our cute little outfits. But yeah.
Now we have a welcome reception to dress for too.
I know. This is what I'm stressed about. Please, they set for the welcome reception.
Please.
But like, here's the thing. I'm trying to justify this price point and buying something like that for an event.
So you could like wear the bottoms and I could wear the top, or like
we're just matching for everything. I love this.
I feel like we have to. I feel like
it's my dream. Like I have a younger sister and I get it, but like it'd be so cute to just match. I wish I had a twin sister, you know? Obviously we're twins.
I've wished I had a twin sister my whole life.
Get out, really? That is like a deep
oh my God,
of mine, and
life.
I can't say it outside.
Oh, yeah.
I can't say it because I'm like, I have a younger sister. I want a twin though.
Also, one more thing to follow up with our book news from last week.
Oh yeah.
Allie Roseco has posted an apology video.
Yep.
And it sucked.
And released the trademark.
Girl. She did release the trademark, and she was like, I'm releasing it. I didn't realize the effect this would have. And like didn't really apologize, and then was like, I'm going to donate proceeds from selling all my Read More books to 2 charities. She didn't eat humble pie in any real way. I think you have to acknowledge the hurt you've caused to properly apologize. So I don't think that she did it in like a really correct way. I think she was just like, I didn't realize this would happen. I was protecting myself. And she doubled down, said that she didn't contact any businesses to take their things down. And there's literal screenshots from her Etsy page. So she's also a liar.
I saw a thread today that was one of the shops that she messaged. She pulled up the message, she screenshotted it beforehand, and then she pulled up the same message and the name was changed on it, which is just so cute. Like, yeah, I just like lying, and I get like, this is the problem we had. Like,
it's
she
like her with
down.
A fake mustache on, like, wasn't me.
It wasn't me though. Like, her doubling down is ultimately the problem. It's like, you can just, you face the music. It is what it is. Like, you needed to do that, and then she had to. She was forced to, because like your shit's gonna tank. But there are a lot of apologists still, and like that was my gripe last week, is like people being like, everyone's allowed to make mistakes. It's like, no, she decided to double down, lie on it, and then do the same thing in her apology. So correct, absolutely correct, and agreed. So we shall live and learn as people, but she didn't.
Whoops.
Right.
Now that we have aired all our grievances, we are going to jump back into You Won't Forget Me by Mazey Eddings. This is part 2. If you missed part 1, please go back and listen to it. And
Please.
obviously, spoilers ahead. We are recapping the entire book in 3 parts. So, just some trigger warnings for the book. The book talks about depression, compulsions, particularly around social media, and compulsory heteronormativity. So take
Yes.
care of yourself. Like we've mentioned, this book deals heavily with mental health struggles. So know what you're getting into. And if you can't stand yearning, not for you.
Can't stand it, get out. You can't stand
Yearning,
a slow
trigger
burn.
warning.
So yes, where we left off, band is in full tour mode. They have a new manager named Kevin. They're going on an 8-week North American tour, and it is just happening for them. So let's jump into chapter 10. That's where we left off. The band is officially leaving Iceland. They're heading to America, which really should feel exciting, but Cubby is still in full spiral mode. She's wedged physically between Harry and Darcy on the plane and trying to ignore the fact that her entire life has changed in just a matter of weeks. Darcy's comfortably invading her personal space like normal, and she's digging through her backpack for a book. We have some dialogue. Cubby says, "What did you decide on?" And Darcy says, "I'm in a..." This is so us. "I'm in a cowboy romance." She goes, "I'm in my cowboy romance era." She says this with a southern accent. She flashes Cubby the cover and says, "Save a horse, ride someone's dad," or however that saying goes. And Cubby says, "I think you nailed it." And I think so too, sis. I love
think
Darcy's
she nailed
humor.
it too.
Perfect.
Same.
She's really a real one. Meanwhile, Cubby is just really running out of distractions in this moment. She can't doom scroll because she's on the plane, so she's just kind of left alone with her thoughts, which is arguably more dangerous for her. When Darcy asks if she's okay, Cubby says yes, but internally she's convinced everything is falling apart around her. Darcy sees this tour as kind of the start of something incredible for them, and she's very excited, but Cubby thinks, quote, "This isn't the start. We're smack dab in the middle of the end," end quote. And she, in this moment, is just really mourning the simplicity that the band used to have. And I am feeling for her. Like, this.
Because her whole drive was music, and now they're touring on a lie. They're touring on publicity that's not founded in truth. And that is a bummer because that was never what was important to her. It's cool that they're getting a break, but I can see why she feels the moral dilemma of it, especially because this lie she's upholding goes directly against what she truly wants.
Right. And it's so deeply intertwined into her whole identity. So it's not just like the internalized, like trying to figure out her sexuality, not even realizing it at this point, but it's the music piece of it. Is like she feels herself so deeply intertwined in this. So it's like a double whammy in a sense. Poor Cubby.
Yeah.
Things don't really improve when they land, and she discovers that Harry posted a photo of Cubby asleep on his shoulder. The internet, of course, immediately lost their mind. And what nobody could see is that Darcy was asleep on Cubby, and the two of them were holding hands the entire flight.
Platonically,
guys. Cubby ends up scrolling through old photos to find something to remind people that she's a real person, and she lands on pictures of her and Darcy when they were 18. They were laughing and looking completely carefree, and that really put her in this kind of space. Thankfully, the mood shifts as a whole when Skull's girlfriend Deja appears at the baggage claim. It's really cute. They do like that whole like running, and he catches her, and everyone's like, she is really tiny.
she's tiny.
It's so sudden, and she's really beautiful, and Cubby briefly thinks that she's hallucinating in the moment because like this is so left field. They didn't actually believe this was going to happen, and the whole band just
come from.
Right. The whole band agrees, and they kind of adore her. She's really lovable. She comes off really sweet, and it's nice to have like I love this little sidebar situation.
Yeah, and she's very much like the mouthpiece for Skull. And I think that she also opens him up a little more. Like he's more willing to speak after they meet. But yeah, I think that she becomes like the manifestation of Skull in his silence by the things she says, because she does have like a really good role within the band dynamic.
Yeah, she does. And we'll see that develop. They head to the hotel, and the hotel room reveal happens. Everything sucks about this place. It's gross. The interaction with the front desk girl is very like, whatever. She could not be bothered. Cubby and Darcy discover that they're sharing a room with one giant bed, you know, and a rollout. So obviously,
yeah, one bed.
One bed. Here's the thing. As a romance reader, I know it's there, and when it happens every time, I'm like, ooh, every time. I think it's cute. I don't care if it's in fantasy.
Same.
I don't care what it is. It's so cute to me. They both run for the bed at the same time. They collide and they break the bed. Cubby says, quote, I think my life is supposed to flash before me when I'm faced with imminent demise like this, but the only ridiculous thought I can muster is that I'm so glad Darcy's big blue eyes are the last thing I'll see before I perish. That I'll go out doing something ridiculous with my favorite person on the planet, end quote.
Platonically.
Which is like, that's all I have to say anymore. Oh, bring out the flag. Yes.
Platonically.
Of course, everyone in the band runs to the room super concerned, like this loud bang, and discovers them in this like heap. They go down to tell the front desk woman, and she could just give a fuck. She's like, this happens all the time. You'd be surprised. They're old beds. Just be quiet.
Yeah. She's like working on homework. She's like, y'all need to shut up because I'm going to pass this test. So figure it out.
Period, queen. So we head into chapter 11. It's the band's first show of the tour, and Cubby is barely holding it together. This isn't the first show without Connor. It's the first one where she's kind of in the center of this social media firestorm, and she knows people watching are looking at her differently. And she can't shake that feeling. It's really weighing on her in this moment. Sorry.
I'm sure it feels like you're getting like put in the stocks to have tomatoes thrown at you.
Right. Like, and again, like she's already
on public display. And already at a concert, it's so physical and open. Like they're playing tiny. I've been to some of the venues listed in this book. They're playing tiny venues where if someone wanted to launch up on stage, they could, and they could be a weirdo.
Right. So she just already feels so raw and vulnerable because of the whole situation at hand. And then on top of it, all of her internal struggles, and then this compulsion with the social media and knowing there are people out there that possibly are, you know, preying on her downfall. So that's got to feel heavy. Luckily, though, in this moment, Kevin rolls in their sponsored outfit. She regards her selection as, quote, a display for an incredibly trendy funeral, end quote. I can just envision
They nailed it. Yeah.
She was like, Darcy's outfits match her personality perfect. Like they nailed everything about it. Darcy comes out looking really cute in her pink mini skirt and lavender halter top. Cubby is just
diva.
I know. I'm like, I want that outfit.
I know.
Cubby is just looking at her and telling her she looks incredible. Darcy returns the favor by telling Cubby she looks like a sexy Steve Jobs, which is just incredible. I just feel like Darcy, like their back and forth must be the best feeling to be around, because that type of quipping and having that friendship, that relationship, let's say, is such a delight, even as like an outsider. And like we get to see a little interview with them later on, and like they're like, is it like fun? This?
It's fun to like see two people that are really good friends and be like, I want in that because that looks so good.
Right.
You know?
Before they go on stage, Kevin attempts to give him a motivational speech, and Johnna's going to rip this because it's very resonant. She resonates with this.
Yes. So Kevin gives this speech and he boils it down to take the moment and taste it. You've got no reason to be afraid. And then there's a long pause. And Darcy asks, Kevin, did you just quote Taylor Swift to us? And then even in the dim backstage lights, Kevin's blush is obvious. It's because it 100% is. And then Skull chimes in and says, that's one of my favorite songs by her.
A Swiftie.
The second I read this, that's a quote from You're on Your Own, Kid, I was like, okay, Swiftie. And I expect when I read Mazey's writing to get Swiftie quotes, but the skull chime in, like literally just the goth kid in the corner of the room, like,
Cherry.
that's one of my faves. Also, fun fact to tie this into the book itself, You're on Your Own, Kid is Stevie Nicks' favorite song. And when she went to the Eras tour, Taylor played it on piano for her while she was in the VIP booth so she could hear it live. So that's like such a fun little nod.
Love that. That feels very full circle. And like, that's gotta feel good as a fan, because like the little Easter eggs, like you can clock it and just know you're like, I'm in on it. Again, just feeling like a special.
I know. I'm here.
So when they finally walk on stage, they get all set up, they do their introduction, and Cubby can't even do it. So Harry kind of takes over naturally. She's really nervous and she completely freezes. She misses her first cue and it just tumbles from there. She's convinced she's ruining everything, but Harry notices. He leaves the keyboard, he joins her center stage, and he helps carry her through the moment until she can find her footing again. And so like he really stepped up in that moment, and it was like, you know, you're thinking about like the image of everything now with this whole fake relationship, but also like you have to remember they are friends and they are so deeply intertwined, and you know, he read her and knew that this was going to be
childhood friends. Like he is a safe space, he is a place of comfort, and I think that when you're in a dynamic where you create things with people, like that's truly unbreakable. So him stepping up, and they've been on stage together countless times, so him stepping up and getting in there and being like, okay, it's all good, I can step in, I know that you'll fall into place, is really sweet from him.
Yeah, top tier. Eventually Cubby settles back into the music and remembers why she's here in the first place. And by the end of the set, the crowd is losing their minds. Harry and Cubby touch foreheads in celebration, and Cubby describes it as, quote, more intimate than a kiss, end quote. And I put here, I was like, this is a crazy observation for someone who spends every waking minute yearning for Darcy but can't like come to it. Like she's just like, that was really intimate and like deep and connected on a friendship level. And it's just like to still, but this is the thing. Like this is someone absolutely starting from the basis of, I didn't even think this was a possibility for me. So it's, I think like
correct.
We're like starting to read reviews and whatnot for the pod. And I think people get like upset about that fact. And I don't really think that's fair, because that's so, again, intertwined in the queer experiences. Like this is messy, this is complicated, no one actually gives us a you know, a rule book on this, and often, you know, you're ostracized and you're not what we see in Darcy's situation. You often don't have, some people don't have the support to actually even explore that. It's just really funny with someone, two gay moms, doesn't clock it, but sure.
Right. I'm sure being physically close with Harry does feel incredibly, that water bottle was so crazy.
I'm jugging it. I'm so dehydrated.
You're like, let me get my keg real quick.
Literally. Gallon.
I'm sure that moment with Harry does feel so intimate because her closeness isn't found with men.
Right.
Like it feels unnatural to her because it feels so natural with Darcy. So I'm sure that this is like a moment that's like, ah.
Right. So still they survive their first show, but Cubby knows that there will be pics and videos all over the internet capturing the moment between her and Harry, and that's all she could think about in this moment. Again, kind of feeding into that compulsion. So yes, we jump into chapter 12 right after the show. The band is all hanging around, smoking a joint, and
this
Deja
is one of my
asks,
favorite scenes in the whole book.
This is a goodie, and listening to this too was really cute because it felt like I was part of the you know, blunt rotation. Deja is there with everyone too, and in her cute little self, she asks everyone their dream blunt rotation. We get her rotation first. It comes out swinging with Pedro Pascal, Barack and Michelle Obama, Jennifer Coolidge, and Mudang, the hippo.
She's not wrong. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, yes, this slaps.
That is an excellent answer. An excellent answer.
Oh, yeah. Because it's silly, but it's so serious.
Right. What would be your dream blunt rotation? I didn't
So
think about
I
this.
wrote this as a question to ask you, and I also gave it no thought.
Well, Off the Dome is I think that's the name of the game though. Off the Dome is
Okay.
is
Crazy knee-jerk pull.
Mhm.
Dave Bautista, right there.
crazy.
Crazy. That literally popped into my head, and I was like, that's my truth. I am a person that does not have a lot of crave to meet celebrities.
Ooh, real.
Like, I want them to exist here, and we don't have anything in common, and we don't know each other. Like, paying to meet people feels weird to like things like that. So I don't often actually think about meeting people. Put Harley LaRue in there. That is someone I'd like to fucking smoke a blunt with. Harley, Dave Bautista.
Crazy already. Crazy.
You and John Healy. That's my dream lineup.
Period. Okay.
Sorry.
I had some time to think in this. So I think I would definitely Hold
on, can I add Princess Donut?
Oh, goody. Okay. Fictional characters too. Well, yeah. Fictional character, I'll start off with
if she
one.
Can
it's
slide
gonna be
Mudang
Aaliyah.
In there, like
anyone.
Aaliyah
Rosenoff.
I couldn't sit with him in public. That'd be too much.
Too much. I would have Mayor Zoran Madami. I would have
he was on my list that I thought about. Yes. Well, I'm in your blunt rotation, so I'll be your blunt rotation.
Yes.
And then you can come to mine. Okay.
Miley Cyrus. Yep. It would be, there was two more that I was thinking of. I feel similarly like about the big celebrities. Like I would never want to smoke a fucking blunt with Beyonce because I'd freak out. Like I would not be able to be around her. Like I don't want
Would you want Mandami's wife to be there? Because I would.
She's too cool. No, she's too cool. She's way too cool.
I put her on the same pedestal I put Devin on. As far as like just effortless, cool, hot girl energy.
Devin is effortless and cool and very hot girl.
I know.
Oh,
so like I'm not afraid of Mandami's wife. Yeah, hit me.
I'm not afraid of her either. I just know that like I just will never meet her level of cool. It would be Bob the drag queen. Even though I know that they are sober. This is all fictional.
Yeah.
And then I would choose oh my god, Lizzie McGuire, but the cartoon version of her.
Yes, Diva.
You, Drew, and Kate too.
Incredible. Yes.
Of course.
And my real friends. Oh,
that's my piece.
Who did you say before Lizzie McGuire?
I said Bob the drag queen.
Oh, yes. I had something on this. Did you see that video of him on a podcast with two other people, and they were talking about like what rappers they thought were hot?
Oh yes, they were. Yes, I do.
I listened to laughed so fucking hard because they pulling up Method Man.
Method Man.
They pulled the best. He looked. I've never looked at Method Man in my life. I was like, oh, he's beautiful. And then they cut to Bob's pic, and I was like, I was dying.
Incredible. Ooh, you know who I'd throw in there too? So now I'm like dreaming. I'd throw Zooey Deschanel in there just because I would giggle with her. I know I'd have a giggle.
That would fuel your soul. But you went 2016 her, not this version, correct?
I'm fine with her now. She doesn't really do much, but like, yes, that would be fine. She can't
bring the property brother.
No, he is not allowed to come. He gives bad, sinister vibes. I do not like his energy. I know he's the better one too.
Okay, back to the subject at hand.
Jennifer Coolidge is a good one too. She would just make me giggle too. Okay. Mudang. So during all this, Cubby ends up sitting close to Darcy, running her hands through her hair again, platonically. The casual. Can you imagine if like? I mean, we're close friends and like we've touched, we hug, we hang out, we'll, like lay down. Like that's fine. I cannot imagine like intimately running my hands through your hair because I know the last time it's been washed.
Yeah, 84 years. You know that thing that's like your closest friends you have never touched. I feel like I fall into that with people. Like I don't touch Theo. Like, I don't touch my friends, which is
That's
also
fair.
so strange because my dream is to cuddle all of them. But yeah, the closeness here is just like, I don't think that I've ever really had a friend that I'm that close with like that. And if I did, we were potentially also doing other things.
That's fair. I was going to say that's the only instance I can think of.
We had one bed in our shared apartment. So, yes.
Clock.
We weren't together, though, platonically.
I remember we were in the pool once and you touched my leg and you go, your skin is so soft. And you were like, but like, no, your skin is so soft. Like, I didn't know your skin was this soft. And I was like, why, thank you. But you were like taken aback by it.
Wait. Can I tell you that when you said, like, we hug, whatever, I thought about when you were here for my birthday and I touched your arm sitting on my couch and how soft your skin was. And I've been thinking about it this whole time.
And you know what? Every time that I'm like, I feel crusty, I think about the time you were like, your skin is so soft. You were like, my skin has just never been that soft.
I might not be vocalizing it, but I think it every time I touch you.
That just made my heart so warm.
That is so funny because I was like, her skin's so soft, and you were like, so this one time, I don't even remember doing that in the pool. That is so funny.
Well, and because we were like talking about skin too, like we were in my mom's pool and we were talking about skincare. You put me on to the moisturizer. That was just a conversation about
skincare and hair care.
Yeah,
is I had a 95th degree sunburn. Yes.
Oh, girl, crispy. So yes, so Cubby is sitting there with Darcy, running her fingers through her hair, very platonically, friendship wise, skin touching wise. The casual intimacy really hits her harder than expected in this moment. She says, quote, the position, this closeness is as familiar to me as breathing. With my defenses down and my brain fuzzy, it hits me like a blow to the chest, how sharply I've missed it, how I'd do anything in the world to preserve it, to take back any and every moment that pushed her away so I can keep her this close.
First of all, platonically. Second, I do believe that can I always keep her this close is a Taylor Swift lyric interpretation from Lover, where she says, can we always be this close? And I read that line and like the song just floated into my brain in like the most intimate way. And I will have to
remember to ask her that.
9.
You will have to absolutely ask her that. So hey, there's specific line in your book.
Multiple that I have to ask her. Hey, when you said the first fall of snow in Late Bloomer, was that a quote from All Too Well, or am I just being a Taylor Swift fan?
You know she's gonna love that too. As also Swiftie, she's gonna eat that shit up.
Oh yeah.
So
maybe you ain't ready.
You are not ready for us. I want you to be. I'm so excited to talk to you. Anyways, the conversation only gets weirder from there. Kale somehow lands on a blunt rotation that includes Bowen Yang, Oscar Wilde, Jonathan Bailey, Frank Ocean, and Ina Garten, which is also an incredible lineup. These are great people. Frank Ocean and Ina Garten in the same room. Crazy mix. Jonathan
Bailey?
Yeah.
I'd hit the blunt and be like, take your pants off platonically. Let me see them thighs.
Please. I beg of you. Get wet again in that really loose, delicious shirt. Thank you very much.
Me and the Barefoot Contessa. I have to talk to her about her book.
So I need to tell you about two things. I had a deep obsession with British pop culture as a kid. Ina Garten was my American version of Delia Smith, if you know about Delia Smith. She's another chef. And one Valentine's Day, in a joke that literally only I would understand, I handed out a bunch of Valentines with fucking Delia Smith puns on them. And I'm sorry.
The queen of production over here.
Just unhinged. I get it, Kale. But I do love Ina Garten a lot. She was I was, again, a Food Network kid. She was there.
This is where we find out that Kale is queer. Because when everyone's all caught up on Barefoot Contessa, He says that he only wants the men there so he can fuck them and everyone else can make good snacks.
Hey.
Also, everyone else is just Barefoot Contessa.
I was gonna say Ina Garten is just sitting there in the cuck chair like crazy.
It's Ina and the Barefoot Contessa together.
Oh, and Barefoot Contessa. Sorry.
No. They're the same person.
Wait. I was like, wait, isn't she the Barefoot Contessa?
It's her and herself.
It's her and her alter ego. She's just, oh, I love that. The image of Ina Garten in a cuck chair is incredible.
Crazy. With a martini glass this big with a whole bottle of vodka in it.
What's her husband's name? Charles or something? David, Charles or something. She's like, David's out there and he's literally in the orgy. She's like, everyone's like, she's just a big, and
he can fuck too.
He can fuck too. Like, that's the whole gig.
Jeffrey, if you're out there, Ina Garten's memoir is called Be Ready When Luck Happens. Mm-hmm. And it's very good. And she reads it. So read the audiobook. It's bonkers. And she did pioneer herself in a male dominated field. I will not dispute that. But she is also a woman of privilege. And I don't think she knows that. But, you know, it's such a kooky story. Mm-hmm. It's lovely.
I have to get in there. So yes, we learn Kale is queer. And then it's Darcy's turn, and she absolutely detonates the situation when she's asked who she'd like in her dream blunt rotation. Darcy says, just Cubby. I was waiting for it. Just Cubby.
Platonically.
And like in this moment, Cubby is so deep in her feelings. This is making her light up because she feels like this connection again. And she says, quote, Darcy's smile and big blue eyes are the new axis my world revolves around, end quote.
My note just reads 1-800-Yearners Anonymous.
I love it so much because I'm sitting here kicking my feet. I can't wait. Like, I remember when you texted me later on in the third episode, we'll get to the payoff. And I texted you yesterday. I was like, the payoff is paying off. Like, freaked out because there's so much like yearning and slow burning in this. I just cannot get enough. So yes, by the end of the night, everyone has headed back to their rooms, but Cubby cannot stop watching Darcy. They share a bed, and as Darcy drifts off to sleep, Cubby is left wondering, quote, how do you ever unsee someone when they are as bright as Darcy is, end quote. Guys, your husband is gay. Like, that's how it feels. Like, I need Crazy. Wendy Williams to tell you that you're gay.
It's so cute. It's so good. I love that she is able to articulate her feelings to Darcy in this book, even though she can't like come up with them herself. I also have to say, one of the big themes in this book is Darcy's blue eyes. Cubby cannot come up with a color. She says they're like the depths of the universe and all these things. Mm-hmm. After I read this, Taylor released her Toy Story song, and one of the lines in it is, I knew you, all your blues like a mood ring changing colors. And the first thing I thought of was Darcy's eyes. And I was like, that would keep Mazey so fed.
I cannot wait for you two to kiki. There's something so deeply in like feeling deranged. That level. It is deranged, but I get it. Like I'm the same with Beyonce. I tell you, like it is like the same thing, and it feels so good to like have that back and forth of someone who also gets it. And then you're reading a book where someone's throwing in Easter eggs. Like I cannot. When I get a Beyonce mention, I literally tweak every time. Like this book is 5 stars. Yes, like
100%. Like this person gets it, and I feel like it also gives you a little glimpse into the author's brain. Like, oh, if you can get down with this, then right. We can get down.
So we move into chapter 13, where it opens with Cubby doing the absolute worst thing she could do for her mental health currently. She is reading an article about Connor's upcoming solo album. The article is talking about how his album is going to be the soundtrack of the summer. The band is on a Zoom call with Sigrun, who is much more interested in talking about their success over Connor's, of course. The tour is picking up in momentum. The streams are up. The press is starting to cover them, and they've officially sold out in Philly. You know about this venue, correct?
Yeah, so the venue's called Kung Fu Necktie, and it is like this
Mhm.
legacy venue in Philadelphia.
Hell yeah.
Every Time I Die, I played there multiple times. That was a frequent stop, and this venue was a big issue for me because when I was 19 and trying to see them in Philly, they were a 21 plus venue.
Oh, I thought it was this one you got punched at.
No, that was in Buffalo. But it's like this tiny little stinky graffitied bar in Philly.
Got you. Love that. Cubby immediately wants to know what the reviews are saying because, as she puts it, quote, "It's pathetic, but I am made of crumbly clay, requiring someone to constantly pat me into place, build me up before my legs give out. I cannot stand on my own without the approval of others," end quote. She is so self-aware. I get this. I'm one of these people. I feel like she's so self-aware. She's so critical too. And she, I think, is finally getting that this isn't helping her in any capacity. Her obsession with knowing is ultimately not helping her, but it just
Right.
feels like she can't stop at this point. She's chasing validation from it and she can recognize all of that, but it's the actual action of pulling away that I think she's just really struggling with here.
Mm-hmm. It's so hard. I talked about it last time too. Knowing that your brain is doing you a disservice, knowing you shouldn't be letting it, and still not being able to course correct. Being like, I'm better than this. I know I shouldn't need this, but here I am. Like, that is such a dark place to be.
We also get a first look into the band's tour bus at this moment, which is really less rock star luxury and more of like just a converted school bus. The bunks are the bunks are basically wooden planks, and Cubby and Darcy end up on the lower pullouts, close enough that they could practically share a bed, which is a common theme. One bed only.
Right, like you can just picture these two beds being pushed together,
kissing.
And like even though it's two twin mattresses, they are just like side by side. Right.
As it's all happening, Cubby is still like ruminating about Darcy saying that her dream blunt rotation was just Cubby, because obviously she is a steward, and this is feeding her in the positive way. So she's getting like that dopamine hit from it. And the same way the social media, I think you kind of, there's like this parallel here where you're watching her get validation. She sees like the positive validation in her life and she sees how valuable that is, but it's so, again, it is compulsion, and it's very clear from the beginning like what this is doing to her. It's really nice to have the dichotomy of both. And I'm glad that she has support systems all around, even though right now it doesn't feel like it's coming from the band, and that's what's most important to her. Sigrun starts assigning social media tasks specifically to Harry and Cubby. Harry gets praised again for all the fake dating content he's like effortlessly doing in the moment, and Cubby and Harry are instructed to get more candid photos together, and the person tasked with taking those photos is Darcy, of course, and she is visibly upset about it in this moment. I think we're getting the peel back of Darcy and in the current situation and how her, like a look into her psyche. We'll see that come up here in a minute, so I'm not gonna flame it up too much.
Yeah. And like it's moments like this when I was like, I want the Darcy remix.
Girl, that was so literally, I finished that book and I was like, I just want Darcy POV. Like that would make me so happy.
Yeah, like I'm kind of glad it's so one-sided, because it could have easily been dual POV, but only hearing from Cubby really builds this out in a great way.
Right. And I still feel connected to all the other characters. We're looking at them through Cubby's lens, but I still really, I feel like that is a testament to Mazey's writing and how she can build out these characters. I felt the same way for Late Bloomer. 100%. And we had dual POV. So after the meeting, they discover that Kevin is not only their manager, but he's also playing bus driver, which immediately proves to be a terrible idea. He drives like a maniac the entire trip to Burlington. At one point, Darcy and Cubby literally get thrown into each other, and Kale yells, quote, "Easy, Miss Frizzle, this isn't F1." End quote. I love the humor in this. There are just so many little lines like this.
Yeah.
By the time they arrive, everyone is sick, and Kale immediately throws up after exiting the bus. Real. That's me as a car sick girly. Same.
Yeah, launching out of there.
As they get off the bus, Harry appears with flowers for Cubby, which feels like a choice in this moment. Cubby is completely caught off guard about it, but Harry also gives Darcy a flower, and like the whole energy of this exchange is really weird, and everyone knows it and no one's saying it. So Darcy takes the photo of him handing her the flowers, and she finally says, "Come along, lovebirds, we have a date to fake," end quote. So
And this is very, like, you can feel her in this moment going from a place of upset to being like, I'm on, let's go, we're all friends.
Right. Because she's just been so conditioned. Yeah, she's been conditioned to do this since it was Cubby and Connor. And I think, you know, she can step into the friendship space a little bit easier, but we're watching it broken down in real time in this book. We're watching both of them be at their wits' end and feeling like they can't say the big thing. Into chapter 14, the fake date takes place at an arcade, but thankfully Harry isn't trying to make it weird. He suggests that they all hang out together, which makes the situation bearable. He's kind of like, it's old times, drinks on me. The girls are like, fuck yeah, they are. And they kind of settle into
they
this
always were,
more
buddy.
comfortable space. The first thing Harry notices is that Cubby is sitting across from Darcy instead of next to her, which Cubby is like internally having a little moment about this and feeling weird, and then he like voices it right after, and Darcy kind of like shuts this off, and she's giving off weird vibes. She's like, we can sit in different places, that's fine. I didn't know you were clocking it that hard. But she's like obviously a little uncomfortable. She's fidgeting with her beer label, and she's just a little unsettled. While they're drinking, they start talking about what they do if they actually make it big. Harry says he'd pay off his mom's house, which is really sweet. But then he turns around and says he'd get himself a nice flat so he could shag in it, which is just what a man would do.
That's man behavior, right?
It
like,
is.
Of course he said that.
Right. It makes me feel better about Harry when he was like, first I'm going to buy my mom a house, but then I'm going to buy my own bachelor pad. Darcy says that she'd like to travel. She wants to see new places and keep seeing them whenever she wants to. And when Cubby thinks about her answer, her first instinct is basically that she would like to follow Darcy wherever she went. But what she actually says is that she'd like to pay her twin brother Oliver to write a book, and both Harry and Darcy. As the night goes on, Cubby starts slipping back into her social media spiral. She describes feeling like she's constantly watching herself from the outside. She's imagining the comments people would leave about every interaction that she's currently having with her friends, and it's really tainting the experience. She says, quote, I feel my brain is wasting away, dissolving into this gooey, obsessive blob that leached onto social media like a parasite, end quote. She recognizes this, but she still manages to pull herself out of it and start to enjoy the night, which is really pivotal here, because I think, again, this is contributing to her being like, this is not helping. Even though I can't help having the thoughts, I can try to do better and like experience what's going on.
Right.
The three of them spend hours playing games, and Cubby destroys Harry at Frogger. She and Darcy play air hockey, and everyone is just having a good time. At one point, Harry blows in Cubby's ear while she's locked in to beat his pinball score, and that causes her to lose. His defense is simply, quote, all is fair in love and pinball, end quote.
I really love this part because it feels like a scene from the prologue. It feels like before everything was complicated, before everything, they're all together and they're like real back on their bullshit, joking around. It does feel like Cubby and Harry have a very like brother-sister relationship. Like they're really tight, and it does, from what I gain from Cubby, feel very platonic. In like a very supportive best friend way.
In a real platonic way. But underneath all of the fun, there's something clearly wrong with Darcy. Cubby keeps trying to pull her into the jokes and with all the play fighting, but she can tell Darcy is just not really present. She snaps a photo, and Darcy quietly says, I think I got the shot. And this was after a playful moment between Harry and Cubby, and they were like messing around. The photos look great. They're a little too great. And Harry and Cubby both look really convincing together, and everyone kind of agrees.
Boo.
Yeah, it's just really upsetting because it's like, you know, Darcy is just getting eaten up about this whole situation as well, but again, can't voice it.
Right.
I was right, because
she's
to be okay.
in a situation where if she is like, I'm not going along with this, then she's not only voicing and potentially upsetting the balance, but then she's going against what's making the band famous and giving them the opportunity.
Just sucks.
Girl.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Cubby can't stop thinking about Darcy. Darcy seems miserable taking the photos, same. And she can tell that she's just visibly upset about being assigned this task. Harry remains completely unaware that he's standing in the middle of this gay crisis. He's just like, again, a dude. I just think about him in this. He's like, you know, he's got a little buy-in. You can tell he has a little crush on Cubby, but he is just wedged into this like larger issue, and he's unaware of it because there's another larger issue at hand. It's Cubby and Connor. It's the whole sphere of the internet. By the end of the night, Harry is tired and heads off on his own, but Cubby and Darcy decide to go get ice cream together. We move into chapter 15. Darcy waits outside reading. Cubby grabs their ice cream and starts teasing her about her book. She guesses it's Gargoyle Erotica, but it turns out Darcy is reading Pride and Prejudice. Just the duality of woman. She explains that she's actually named after Mr. Darcy because her parents always wanted a boy. Throughout her childhood, she never felt like she was enough, and Cubby was constantly blamed for corrupting her. Eventually, Darcy reveals that when she told her parents she wasn't going to university and wanted to keep making music, they kicked her out. The first place that she went was Cubby's house. So we get a little bit more of Darcy's backstory here, and it just makes me happy she had a resource like Cubby's parents and living so closely to them.
Right, especially because she wasn't running away from home or trying to get across town. No. I feel like her being able to run next door allowed everyone to cool down, including her own parents, because they were like, she's next door and we don't love those people because we're bigots, but she's just next door.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna hope that they cared enough about her to think that. But alas, the queer experience. She starts talking about a night years ago when they sat together trying to pierce their ears, and neither of them could actually go through with it. And she admits, quote, I think a lot about that night, end quote. When Cubby asks why, Darcy tells her it's because of what that night represented. She tells Cubby that she saved her from trying to force herself into a life she never wanted. The alarms have to be alarming. It's like, there it is. Just what a perfect way to explain the same thing that's currently happening. Meanwhile, Cubby is so gone that she's sitting there analyzing the way Darcy eats ice cream with, quote, she consumes ice cream in the same way she consumes life. Like there's too many amazing things to try for her to linger on a safe choice, end quote. It's like, fuck.
I hope someone thinks about me in the way that Cubby thinks about Darcy.
It's me.
Because the things
platonically.
The things she pulls out to say about Darcy are so beautiful.
Just beautiful.
And like ultimately, these aren't real people, and this is Mazey Eddings writing that we love. But some of these quotes are just gut-wrenching. So perfect.
And only in the sapphic way. You know, like if a man was saying it's like, okay, fine. But like this woman yearning this hard makes it extra delicious.
All of that. All of that.
Cubby feels a shock of pain from a lick of ice cream that makes her make a mental note to stop neglecting her dental hygiene. She's like, I'll floss better. If it hurts that bad already, ooh, girl.
Yeah,
we'll get to that later. The conversation eventually turns into songwriting, and Darcy brings up lyrics Cubby accidentally put in their shared notes app. Lyrics that definitely aren't about Connor, no matter how much Cubby wants Darcy to believe that they are.
The lyrics are, ignorance is bliss. I'd lose myself to forget your kiss. 'Cause these memories, they haunt me. All the things we used to be. It all slipped like water through cracks in my hands, and now I'm dying of thirst in our no man's land. And Cubby says that she accidentally typed the rough lyrics in their shared note instead of Cubby's private lyric folder. And Darcy thinks the song's about Connor, but Cubby says she'll go to her grave lying to her that she's right.
Just tickle me. So good.
So good.
After that, she says that she stopped working on it because it hurts too much. And Darcy responds with one of the best lines in the book, personally, I think, quote, creating something always feels like breaking a bone just to document its healing. And sometimes it's hard to pick what bone to break, end quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, like, there it is.
It feels like that, though. I mean, no matter what you're doing creatively, like, it's being that vulnerable and choosing, okay, what parts of me are people going to see?
Yes, and choosing to share it is such a leap of faith.
Exactly. When Cubby says that she's afraid the song will be nothing but sad that they're going to write, Darcy simply tells her, then let it be sad. I put here, like, this whole conversation feels like they're talking about something different and something bigger, which is obviously intentional, but it's like, can you imagine being in this moment, just like yearning so bad, getting all this, like being pushed right up to the edge, but like no one can say the thing, you know, like that has got to be excruciating.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely brutal. And there's so much on the line.
Right. So it's not just like not saying the hard thing. There's just so much on the line for both of them.
The band dynamic and the fake relationship, and neither of them are
Now,
queer. And yes, so much.
And now
on
they're
the
so
line.
much bigger, and like there's just so much that is coming into play here. Darcy admits that she's afraid to write certain things down because once they're written, they belong to the world instead of just them. And she immediately realized she said too much. She tries to backpedal and she changes the subject. We're getting into uncharted territory, basically. Well, charted territory, but unknown reaction territory. Then Cubby's phone goes off.
Right.
And immediately her attention shifts to the comments and notifications from the arcade photos. They are positive comments this time, so she starts devouring them and getting that like dopamine hit, that validation. And by the time she looks back up, Darcy's mood has completely changed. She's kind of back into that somber feeling, or that somber mood. She throws away her ice cream and she starts walking back. And just, of course, Cubby's going to read all of this. They're reading each other like a book. They just again can't say the loud thing.
But do you also like know that feeling of wanting to punch someone in the face when you're trying to have a conversation with them and they just look down at their phone and you could tell they're just gone?
Yeah.
And you're like,
yes,
we're literally speaking. Yeah.
Yes.
I do this thing. So there's a few people in my life that are very guilty of this. I'm not saying I'm not, but I try not to be.
Yeah, I'm pretty guilty.
And I will, like, if I see them look down at their phone, I will just hard stop talking until they look back up at me.
So like I said,
and it's annoying. I'll be like, yeah, so I went, and I'll just, and then the length of time it usually takes them to go, I'm still listening. I'm like, the fuck you were.
Took you too long to answer me. Yeah.
Liar.
Cubby describes the pull that social media has on her like this, quote, the notifications have a barbed lasso around my brain, my neurons shriveling up like dehydrated fruit, hollowing in desperation for another dopamine hit, end quote. Exactly that. I kind of jumped on it, but like that has to feel so visceral, especially if this is something you struggle with. And then also being in the eye. Like I'm a regular schmiggle. Yeah. Like I get excited when our posts go off or something really hits and like we get great engagement. Same. It's like we did the thing.
Right.
We have eyes on us. And that is less of like what I need nowadays, which is great, but it just feels still good. So like this turning into that for Darcy, or excuse me, for
and
Cubby.
That's what social media is built around, is the dopamine hit, is the satisfaction, is being liked by your peers. Like that is why social media is running rampant right now.
Exactly. Back on the bus, Darcy lets the door close before Cubby is able to get in, so she knows she's pissed. And they have it out. And Darcy snaps. She's just having they have like a quick back and forth here. And Darcy snaps at her with, quote, is no one else allowed to have an off night, or only Cubby can bring the drama? Yikes. She's telling her about herself a little bit.
And she deserves to hear it, but Darcy is such a rock to Cubby. But this moment of Darcy coming a little bit unglued is really rough.
Yeah. Darcy locks herself in the bathroom and completely shuts Cubby out. And for the first time ever, Cubby is the one being iced out by Darcy, which is not a great feeling for her. Harry tries to intervene and convince her that everything will be fine in the morning and that she has to let her chill. But Cubby realizes that's not actually what she wants. She doesn't want things smooth over. She wants Darcy's honesty, her messiness, and her rough edges. And she just wants Darcy. And it's like we're coming to it. We're there. It feels like the roller coaster. We're almost to the pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
Into chapter 16, Cubby and Darcy are now in Cleveland. They're doing press together, which is already awkward because they haven't spoken since their fight on the bus. The interview asks them when they first knew that they wanted to make music, and Darcy says the moment she knew was at Cubby's house while they were decorating a Christmas tree. One of Cubby's moms put on a Joni Mitchell record, and Darcy was completely captivated. She wasn't allowed to listen to that kind of music at home, and hearing it changed something for her, which is just... If you're a music person in any capacity, which we both are, like, there's when something hits, it hits, and that probably...
I have a very distinct memory. Now, this is insane because I was 5. I have a very distinct memory of also a queer awakening story of seeing the video for Baby One More Time with Britney Spears in the hall, walking down the hall with the pigtails in the lock. I remember seeing that music video for the first time and just being like,
yeah,
like I had never heard anything like that. I had never seen any distinct up here. Like I remember seeing that music video for like I can feel my hand on my TV cabinet in my family home, and it was like an old school like domed like visceral. So this moment hit so hard because we are two people that love music and have so many emotional ties to music. So this is so good.
Yeah, I mean, I can just think of so many instances in my life and moments that I can like tie back to like music.
It's
and
Prince.
Like it's Prince and seeing When Doves Cry. Like it's seeing Beyonce for the first time in my life, and like I like not even being able to conceptualize what was happening in front of me and crying. It's like being a music kid myself and like being really tapped into a lot of music and like musical theater. It's growing up in high school during the 2010s era. 2014, 2015 music was a huge thing for that younger generation. Like it is so intertwined in like my life and your life, and like it just feels like this is something I can resonate with. And I know that's not the case for everyone. Like sometimes people, like I dated a guy who like music was kind of overrated to him. He's like, it's just not something I'm into, and I just could not be on that. I could not be further from that. So
yeah,
I get this feeling. When it's Cubby's turn, she dodges the real answer. What she says is that inspiration comes differently for every song, that some arrive fully formed and others take work. What she doesn't say is that her moment was watching Darcy fall in love with music and seeing how deeply it affected her. It really made Cubby want to create something that could make a person feel that way. There's a light flag there for our audio listeners.
This is so sweet. This also hits for me because I love watching people do what they love, and I love experiencing things that other people love that I might not love. And typically that's the fastest way to get me to love something, is to share something with me that you have big emotional ties with. And this is why I love the Grateful Dead. It wasn't ever something I was interested in. And, Devin told me, like, this is this really great thing. And was always our family trip over the summer. We would go see the Grateful Dead and all this stuff. And I ended up like at a show with her family, and it was the sweetest, most shared experience. And those things are so sacred. So that being her guiding light is so wholesome.
Love. In that same vein, I'm curious, what was your first concert, or what was the one that like was really establishing for you? I'm very curious.
Ooh, I have an answer. It was supposed to be a My Chemical Romance concert, but it was right after they shot the Black Parade video, and their drummer, Bob, R.I.P., his legs got burned filming that, so they had to pull off the show. But it was at the grandstand at the New York State Fair, and it was Taking Back Sunday and Circa Survive in August of 2006. And
God, amazing.
I have the ticket stub for it still, and like that was one of those moments. And I really liked music at that point, but I hadn't gone to a concert that was like my concert. And I remember watching Anthony Green perform, and I have been fortunate enough to see him perform so many times. I've seen Taking Back Sunday so many times. And I remember seeing him perform, and just it blew me out of the fucking water. It was, I have followed him through so many projects, so many journeys. And most recently when I saw him at Sharky's right after COVID. Like, it was, you had to have a negative COVID test level. And he was just working the merch booth with his kid. And I looked at him, and it was 2020. So I got to look at him and be like, I saw you for the first time actually in the same city in 2006. And he goes, the State Fair. My Chemical Romance pulled off that show. And it was just incredible because this man plays so much music. And it was just this beautiful moment of shared experience because he remembered being there, which is crazy in itself. It was like, that was the show. And I have a deep love for live music specifically. And just that moment like altered the course of my life. What about you?
Yeah, no, that's a good one. It's funny you say the New York State Fair because my very first concert, which I wasn't going to kind of be my establishing one, but it was a New York State Fair concert. And I saw, this was in the heyday of American Idol, and it was Jordan Sparks. And like Jordan Sparks was a big deal in yes, diva. It was big deal in general, but that is one of like the first people I saw like being successful and looked like me, and was like, she's a bigger girl at the time. Like, she was very much so like everything that I felt. So that was an establishing one. It happened at the New York State Fair. But the one that came to mind, I'm like an indie kid at heart. Like I said, I grew up in that era, and I saw the Two Door Cinema Club at the Ithaca State Theater when I was in college. And I had like tickets were like $15, and I was like, I had never been to like a show. I didn't really go to shows when I was in high school. I almost saw Vampire Weekend in Buffalo, but I couldn't get there because I didn't drive yet. I went there with a friend, and at the Ithaca State Theater, they have their pit right up against the stage. Like, you were just there. And I didn't know this at the time. Once everything was ready to go, you like rush to the pit. My friend and I did, and I was like, this is just what you do at concerts. And I was thrilled. It was like it's a theater, so like a proper theater. So it felt it was just really cool. And to be that close and just like really live in like the moment of like the time,
feel that I the music.
Oh, girl, I was like looking, and I went to another show of my favorite band, one of my favorite bands of all time, Walk the Moon. I saw them there too, and I like met them, and like we were literally right there in front talking to everyone throughout the show. Like, it was just really cool. So I can think of like the place, like Ithaca State Theater is a huge one where I saw quite a few people, but back in the day it used to be amazing. After COVID, not so much.
Yeah, and music's also something that's so personal frequently that making it a shared experience is just incredible. Because I was a little kid listening to My Chemical Romance on my Mary-Kate and Ashley CD player that I still have, and I ripped that CD so often, and I knew every word. I was so obsessed with this band, and I got tickets to the big show to do the thing. I will say my first actual concert was Aerosmith. I have seen them 3 times.
You have a crazy repertoire. Johnna also has seen a lot of cool bands.
Bad Boys of Boston, baby.
She is like deeply a music kid. So like, yeah, you've been around for quite some time. I didn't get to go to shows till I was in college and whatnot, but it is just I had a very irresponsible
dad.
Fair.
That was like, you want to go to Buffalo and go to a bar on a Tuesday? Get in the car. I'm like, let's go. Which I mean, honestly, like I haven't talked to my dad in 16 years. If I could credit him for one thing, it was like fostering my love for fandom and music in the most irresponsible way, because he always made it happen. I was always at the gigs, so no notes.
Period. So we get another reminder that Cubby is having absolutely normal amount of feelings about Darcy while talking about songwriting. She admits that there's one song that she can't get out of her head, and it is, quote, The song that is currently up there is an annoyance, like food stuck in my teeth, or I want it out of me so I can focus on something, anything else, end quote. The lyrics she shares are painfully obvious to everyone except apparently Darcy. And it's quote, "You are the fire, you are the storm, but if you let me, I'll be the one to keep you warm. Don't think I want to be just friends." Girl,
Ooh.
girl.
Ooh.
Ooh. I'm sure Darcy knows this is about her. Like, there has to be a level of understanding, and this is why we crave a Darcy POV.
Yeah.
But there is that, like, you're living in Cubby's brain. It's that, like, does she not, like, how much, how little, like, we've had this, we've already kind of done some of these things, like, what is this to her? That pull is crazy. And then Cubby straight up tells us it's about Darcy. Everything she's writing is about Darcy now. The interview takes a turn when Terry starts asking about dating and inspiration, trying to tie their music back to relationships instead of the actual work. He then pivots into one of those questions that sounds thoughtful until you actually think about it. And he asks about their music being compared to melodramatic teenage girl diaries and whether they're bothered by being associated with feminine angst. The implication here is that teenage girls' feelings are somehow lesser. This is a common thing with a lot of women musicians. I'm a huge Paramore fan, a big Hayley Phil Williams fan, so this has like come up a lot, and especially with her new music too. I've been thinking about this in the context of like the Silver Springs of it all. I'm like, is Hayley Williams my new age Silver Springs? This is so like I'm glad this was included because this is something we hear time and time again. I think especially with punk, like I'm super into Mannequin Pussy, and it's like Riot Girl music shouldn't still be like this shocking to men, and it's just crazy to me it is. And why is it the conversation like, oh, you're being whiny and emotional? It's so fucking annoying.
Right. And the flip side of this is Cubby's in this interview and getting shit on for bringing up her past relationships for inspiration, and Connor's being praised for it directly on the other side of the coin. It's the same thing. It's the same content. Actually, Cubby wrote the song and you only liked it when a man performed it. So that's that on that.
You better say it. That's the truth. Obviously, neither Cubby or Darcy are having it. Cubby finally snaps this moment, and good for her. She asks if Terry would tell his own daughters that their feelings are trivial. And when he tries to use her lyrics against her and imply that she's too emotional, she absolutely unloads on him. She says, quote, "People have no problem poking and prodding at girls, barking orders of what we can and cannot be. We'll always be too angsty, too emotional, too entitled, too meek, bossy, controlling." She is laying into him. And this is one of the strongest moments of this book, I think, because again, there's so many layers to what's going on. We're talking about mental health, we're talking about queer experiences, we're talking about the push and pull, we're talking about so many different things. And yet this still shines through as such a huge part of the book without highlighting Connor too much, because like he's obviously the antagonist in this book. This is saying this is commentary at large, and I'm really glad Mazey put this in here. It doesn't feel like misplaced. I like that this is in the interview format because it is some fucking music dude who has rights for whatever this thing is and thinks he is. It's always some just fucking snob, and I have, again, we're music girlies, and like the men in the music scene sometimes, most of the time, are grating.
Right. Grating. The women in your life hear about how you speak about other women.
Period. So Herbie,
whether
she's like,
I'm saying
you
that
talk
to
about
everyone.
This, your daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Are you going to make your children feel small and trivial for pursuing their dream? Great.
And this, I think, is also like a good moment because here is Cubby standing up for herself. She's kind of been spiraling with the lack of control over her image and the lack of control over the narrative because Connor and everything in the social media. And this is an opportunity for her to kind of like establish, hey, you can't just like fucking say this stuff. I'm really proud of her. I think this is starting to be these last couple of chapters have been like the catalysts and like have been sort of the leap for her. And it feels good. Naturally, Terry leaves because he can't handle being challenged. And in his interview later, yeah, you fucking suck, dude. In his post later, he puts, "Very obvious that Cubby Clark is not media trained," end quote. Like, okay, Diva. Like a dog. I say that and I giggle because it's about Hudson Williams. After he leaves, Cubby completely falls apart. She's crying. Her adrenaline is excuse me. She's in an adrenaline crash, and Darcy immediately comes to her side. She tells Cubby that she is her hero for speaking up, apologizes for the fight, for the weirdness between them, and suddenly everything feels normal again. We're in this pattern. This has happened before. Cubby starts wondering if this is finally going to be the conversation where they stop dancing around what's happening between them. But of course it isn't. They do clear the air and their friendship feels repaired, but there's still all of this gayness lingering about. We're left with that.
Gay.
As we move into chapter 17, Cubby is on the tour bus and hears someone call her name from the outside. It's Oliver and Tilly. And this is our first little crossover moment. This is Tilly from Tilly in Technicolor. We have not read this book, neither of us, so we didn't clock.
But we want to.
Yes, we do, of course. This is like on my TBR now, have hold on it. But there is a little tie-in here in this chapter, and everyone who has read Tilly in Technicolor that I'm reading through the reviews, people love the tie-in because Cubby is mentioned as well and has a good part in Tilly in Technicolor. So I just love that this is like a crossover series world building kind of thing. The two of them essentially kidnap Cubby for lunch, and one of the first things that she notices is that she wishes Darcy were there with them all too. Tilly wastes absolutely no time talking about Harry, and she wants to know everything that's going on between them. This is where Cubby finally admits the whole thing is fake. She tells both of them that she's never wanted to do this and that basically she was pressured into playing along. Neither Oliver or Tilly really understands why anyone would agree to this arrangement, but they support her nonetheless. Tilly casually asks what Darcy thinks about all of it because they've been friends for so long. And then this kind of breaks the dam for Cubby here. She just needs to let it out, and she tells them everything. She tells about Connor. She tells about the stolen music, about sleeping with Darcy, the awful morning after, the fake relationship, the internet. Everything is spilled to them in whole. And most importantly,
could you imagine finally having the capacity to tell someone that you don't have to live with about what is happening? Like, because everyone involved in this saga is someone that she sleeps within 5 feet of. So she just does not have that outlet.
Right. So I'm sure this is safe space. I just she's just boiling. Like all of this is all the way up here for Cubby, and she's kind of been like this for a while. So yeah. Most importantly, though, she admits that the thing hurting the most is that Darcy is the person that she wants to talk to about everything, and that their relationship has become strained because of everything going on. And Oliver probably gives the most healthiest, Oliver gives probably the most healthiest advice anyone has given her in this entire book thus far, and he says to get off social media. That is obviously affecting her mental health heavily, and he knows that he can see it.
Yeah.
Right. Just from this one conversation. Unfortunately, Cubby immediately tells them why she can't. Quote, "If I choose to hurt myself, no one else can hurt me as badly. I'll destroy myself before I give someone else the power to do it first." End quote. And this is exactly what's happening. She isn't really reading anything because she's curious. She's reading it because she's punishing herself. And although she sees it as trying to protect herself, it's ultimately doing the opposite. And here's the thing about compulsion. If you don't know someone with any compulsive behaviors, it is not something you can look at someone and be like, just stop doing that altogether.
Just stop.
That is, just stop. And it sounds like, especially in this situation, like she's just really fixated on social media and clocking in, and just stop looking at the comments. But it's so much deeper than that, and you can see that kind of highlighted here. And then Tilly and Oliver start asking about Darcy. They point out that Cubby always tells Oliver to communicate with Tilly when something is wrong, and she's not big sister, they're twins, as a sibling does. And he's like,
oh,
why?
She's a big sister. She's like 20 minutes older. That's like twin joke.
Twin joke, period. So yes, as a big sister would, she is communicating like, hey, you need to talk with Tilly when things are hard. And he is like, well, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you taking your own advice with Darcy? And Cubby insists that Darcy does not want to talk about it. But Oliver pushes back because, again, that's what a sibling does. He doesn't think Darcy understands how badly Cubby is actually hurting. And then Tilly asks the question, okay? Can Cubby actually handle
T-H-E.
The gay one. She asks, can Cubby actually handle being just friends with Darcy? And this is where Cubby unravels. So buckle up. She says, quote, I never gave my sexuality much brain space because I didn't think I was different than what most people were experiencing. I had my best friend, I had my band, and I had this bone deep compulsion to make music, to pour every bit of myself into these things. There are a few fit guys from our hometown that I'd nod in agreement about when Darcy talked about her crushes. And I've always noticed girls as almost ethereal creatures. Soft skin, shiny hair, rounded curves, good smells. Like, what's not to like? But everyone feels that way, right? Everyone wants to, like, touch a girl's skin and run their hands over her hips and braid her hair just to feel it between her fingers and cuddle and hug and giggle and touch and holy fuck. Do I like girls? Am I gay? We've guys.
We've arrived. Gay panic. Welcome, baby girl.
Welcome. Yeah. But like, this is okay. As two gay people,
this is the queer experience.
This is the queer experience. I remember having that experience. I remember learning what it meant to be pansexual. And I was like, because I always knew bisexual, and I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. But like I was so, it's like the curse, I think, because I am just so generally like, whatever. I never really thought about it. I just think everyone's hot, and I just don't really think about it like that. Like I do.
Yeah, very much
like,
same.
I never placed it. I just thought it was like, I think people are attractive. Surprise. That's a form of gay, girl.
Yeah.
But it's like language and it's access. But like, I remember this internal struggle and learning about that and being like, is that me? And then you're questioning everything. So it's like, this breakdown is so real. So real.
Right. And it's like hard. I mean, Cubby's in a different space, but it's hard when you've never been in a situation to know anything else, to be like, well, I guess it could be me, because it's like a theory versus practice thing. You just haven't been in a situation to be like, oh, okay. Especially when you're in a situation where you're like, everyone feels that way, right?
Right.
Because like, that's just how it was. And then you meet the straightest person on earth and you're like, oh, I'm gay.
Gay in the real way.
Oh.
Right. I think this brings up a good point. I think when we talk about like language and access and like people talking about things, everyone, I guess, like a lot of the commentary nowadays, it's like, it's shoved down my throat. Why is pride a thing? Da 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 da. Like, there are just people who have no concept that this is even an option. Yes, she has had 2 gay moms her whole life. This is fact. But it does not mean that like her internal kind of journey and discovery is informed by that, I guess. Like, you can have all the tools in the toolbox and also just need to like figure it out for your fucking self. Like, but then you have to think about the people that don't. So I think it's really important for us to always talk about this. This is why we will be always unabashedly gay and queer and talk about it and shove it down your throats. Because there's someone, I hope, maybe this is wishful thinking, but like someone might hear something that resonates with them, might help them find themselves a little bit further. So.
Right. Because as a culture, we are so ingrained with being straight people that it's
sickening.
It's hard to think outside of it. Like, you're just like, nope, this is what's supposed to be happening. And it's just like how it unfolds. And it actively takes swimming against the current to be like, hold on. Right. Because it's just ingrained in you that like, this works like this. And you're like, oh, okay. But that's not everyone's truth.
We exist in a heavily binary situation here societally, and it's not doing anyone good. And also, I promise you, if you step outside of that binary in any capacity, gender, sexuality, any way of thinking, just know that you are not alone in that. Like, I'm not saying that to be cheesy, but like, that's the experience. It's like, you stepping out of that in any of your realms, like, will ultimately make you a happier, better person, and also be a more
100%.
tolerant person. I don't give a fuck where you are, who you are, and what you do. It's just be a nice person.
Right.
And I think we could use more of that. So
Right. 100%. And I just told that story about me seeing Britney Spears for the first time
mm-hmm,
and losing my shit about it. Like, actively, I remember that feeling.
mm-hmm,
And it took me till I was 20 to figure out I was a queer person. And I
right,
was surrounded by queer people. That's the only way I ended up there, genuinely. Was I
right,
was put in a situation, I was playing roller derby, and I was surrounded by other queer people. And it took like literal exposure therapy. I don't want to call it therapy because I was never in a situation where I was doing something that went against my family values or anything like
right.
that. I'm fortunate to have an incredibly accepting family, but it was like me being around those people to be like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. This was an option the whole time. Like,
Right. Cause even if you think it's an option in your head, if you're not seeing it, it doesn't feel like an option.
exactly. Period. And that's your gay message of the day.
Be gay, do
Uh,
crime.
so by the end of the conversation, Cubby is a mess. She's crying, she's overwhelmed, and she's desperately trying to escape before she can process any of it in front of her brother and his girlfriend. On the drive back, Oliver tells her that she needs to talk to the band about the social media stuff because she deserves better than what she's doing to herself. And Oliver is right, girl. And I think that really hits for Cubby, even though she's kind of in this meltdown mode and does not know what to do with herself. This resonates. We jump into chapter 18, and they are on the stage performing their Cleveland show, and we are on a high note here. Their newest song is trending. The crowds are bigger, and for the first time, they're getting a taste of what it actually feels like to be successful. Everything they dreamed of is finally happening. The band is currently locked in. Everyone is performing at their best. The energy on the stage is fucking electric, and they are ripping. By the end of the set, Harry and Cubby finish their song together and have one of those big triumphant stage moments like they've been having. Harry comes out from his keyboard. They meet each other on center stage. The crowd goes wild. The forehead touch happens, and it's becoming a part of every performance. This is kind of just the moment everyone's waiting for. But this time, instead of like a hug or just a little touch, Harry leans in and kisses Cubby. And that's where we end this chapter. You get, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, don't do
Non-consensual
that.
kiss. Non-consensual kiss. We all
Right.
super love that. Yeah.
No.
So right into chapter 19, we pick up immediately right after Carrie kisses Cubby on stage. And somehow backstage, the person that's most upset is Darcy. When the second
Weird.
they get back there, weird. The second they get backstage, she's demanding to know what the hell Harry was thinking, and she is yelling at him. Harry doesn't seem sorry, which makes it worse and is just fueling Darcy. He insists that
Right.
he was acting and that they're just pretending to be together. Like, this has been going on for some time, and that Darcy is just overreacting on behalf of Cubby. Kevin tries to calm everyone down. Darcy's still pushing, and she's telling Harry that he used Cubby in this moment, and that's when Cubby completely explodes. Cubby points out that all of them have been using her. The tour, the publicity, the fake relationship, the album rollout, everyone has benefited from the mess that her life has become. And Harry tries to put himself on the same side as her, but Cubby immediately shuts it down. She says, quote, "Don't you dare pretend we're on the same team here." She turns on him, points her finger, and she says, "I'm not happy with you either. Just because we're both pawns in this stupid game doesn't mean you can't be as guilty as they are. What you did out there was fucked up," end quote. And I'm really glad this was included. I'm glad that Cubby is having this moment, but you know, this is prompted
She
by
deserves
Darcy
it.
trying to support her, but she deserves to
Yeah.
have this moment and be like, actually, you can be mad about this, but like, everyone is benefiting from this. Harry, you are also benefiting from it, and you can't pretend that you're not enjoying this. And that's basically what she's saying.
Right. And he knew how uncomfortable with the whole thing she was the whole time. So
From
for
the
him to
beginning.
make the executive decision to publicly kiss her in a public space
Mm-hmm.
is crazy.
Without her consent. Yeah.
Crazy.
Darcy is actually trying to defend her in this, but Cubby is just overwhelmed and she ends up lashing out at everyone, including Darcy. Stating her points, she feels rightfully angry. Darcy leaves and Harry takes Cubby outside to talk. Once they're alone, Harry apologizes and he admits that he should have asked before kissing her, but the conversation at this point takes a turn. Cubby realizes that Harry doesn't actually understand how bad things are and how bad they've gotten because he hasn't seen what's been going on online. He's not tuned into it like she is.
Him doing all the posting and not engaging with it is crazy work.
Man behavior, though.
Yo, louder.
And so in this moment, she realizes that she kind of gets disarmed. They've already kind of talked it out a little bit. She casually jokes in this moment that she probably already got death threats over the kiss, and Harry is just like horrified in this moment. He's like, what? He had no idea the level of hate that she was receiving. And the thing for Harry is that the whole fake relationship has always felt easier for him because he wasn't carrying the same baggage as she was. He wasn't getting ostracized in the public eye like she was. He wasn't part of this whole Connor debacle, even though it's this love triangle online. He wasn't feeling that. So he rightfully was misinformed, but also like, if you guys are all this close, you're watching her deteriorate in this way and watching this affect her. You're being selfish. Buckle up, though, because it gets messier. They're standing.
Wait, what if I told you it gets worse?
Hey, gets worse. They're standing there. They're making intense eye contact. And Cubby jokes in the moment that if the internet likes it, maybe she'll have to keep kissing her pretend boyfriend. Harry responds by asking what happens if he isn't pretending. And I can just feel that her face probably went white.
This is so icky. I hate how this feels.
Yeah, I want to hear your take about this. At first, Cubby thinks that he's talking about ending the fake relationship, but he isn't. Harry wants this for real, girl. He asks her if she feels the same. So he's like, hey, I like you. Do you feel the same? And the problem is that Cubby can almost see a future where she actually does. Harry is kind, he's supportive, he's patient, and he genuinely cares about her. They've been friends forever. They've had this relationship established already. On paper, this is exactly what she should want. But every time she tries to picture it, it falls apart because it does not feel the same way that Darcy feels. She says, quote, I'd do anything for Darcy to offer me what Harry just did, end quote. And like with the realization about her sexuality, having this fucking smashed in her face, it's coming to her for real. She doesn't give him an answer. He obviously is sensing she's going through a lot. He's learning, all of the things going on that he hasn't just been attuned to. He does the fucking man move by putting himself in the center of it. And he says that he's willing to wait for her to figure it out. He leans in to kiss her. And this time she kisses him back, but that's not really what she wants. She says, quote, I kiss him back like if I kiss him hard enough, I can convince myself I need him to, end quote. And then, because the universe hates Cubby, Darcy walks outside and sees this happening. And she runs away and Cubby is just torn the fuck up. Okay. So many things.
So I hate this. This feels, I understand that we have way more context here than Harry does, but this just feels predatory. Like she's weird with her best friend and he's trying to swoop in. And also, if you kiss someone without knowing how it's going to go in a public setting that's upset about being in a fake relationship, if you do that and then they yell at you, making another move on them, like he probably thought he was so fucking slick doing this, but really he just pissed me off.
Right.
Like, and this just doesn't feel good. And I know that you've made it through the rest of the book too. And I don't think all said and done, he's as shitty as he could be. But I do think he's shitty.
Yeah, I feel like this is just again another one of those establishing things. I think she has perceived her relationship with Harry as one thing, which has been true up until this point. Harry is also not being honest. This he's using this as a vehicle. If he felt this way back when, that's one thing, but he is ultimately taking advantage of her, and it feels gross because we also know all these things that are going on for Cubby internally, and she is divulging some of it, with the social media, but he is missing a huge piece that like he is now like compounding, and she doesn't deserve this. Cubby really
Right.
needs a fucking break. She needs a cigarette and she needs a break from all this.
Right. And it's also just like her inner monologue here is so sad.
It is.
I have in my notes, like, she was wondering right after she's like, I'd do anything for Darcy to offer me this. She's wondering if this is the best offer she's going to get.
Right. So she's
Which
resigned
is
to
so
like,
sad.
if
Like,
I
right.
convince
This is how my
myself,
life's going to plow. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. It's
Ugh.
so sad. If I can kiss him back hard enough, I can convince myself I need him to.
And that's like such a real place. That is so real. Ugh.
Right. Right. Is this the best I'm going to do? I still get to be in a relationship with someone in my band and like whatever. My heart like aches for her.
Yeah.
Because
And
she
even,
is just going through it.
right. And even if you can't resonate with this in a gay way, like I have stayed with someone who was obviously really shitty for me. Convincing yourself that maybe you'll feel better about it, that feeling stretches across any type of sexual identity, any type of relationship, Same with a friendship, same with like, that biological family feeling. This spans across so many different types of relationships, and it feels icky no matter how you shave it up, how you slice it up. Like it sucks.
Right.
And Cubby ultimately has to be the one to make the move here, and it's putting her into another precarious situation. This
Right.
was manufactured and she is now having to deal with the product, and I hate it so
Right.
much. I want her to be happy. She deserves sunshine.
I know. She does deserve sunshine, and I see it. I see that she thinks that her path forward, because the bridge with Darcy's no longer an option, is to take something else that's familiar and safe and supportive. And that
Right.
sucks.
It does suck. Okay, so we enter into chapter 20, I guess. We jump ahead a couple weeks and things are somehow worser. Darcy has not spoken
Worser
to Cubby.
and worser.
What's Darcy and Cubby haven't talked in 2 weeks, which in DNC time is a long fucking time. They're touring.
They sleep next to each other. Right.
They're holding
they sleep
hands
on the
across
same
bunks.
bed. Yeah. Brutal.
The band keeps touring, the shows keep getting bigger, and Harry has essentially become the band's spokesman because after the Terry interview, no one trusts Cubby with the media anymore, which is unfair, but fine.
She nailed it. That's the most punk rock thing you could do, is tell off an
say.
interviewer. Are you kidding me? That is the ethos of a woman-fronted band.
Right, but they're like they're literally walking on ice over here. Like the band is like trying to ride any amount of success they've had, and they're like, she can't fuck it up, and it's just so sad. One of Harry's interviews actually goes viral. People love him, and the fake relationship storyline is only getting stronger because of it. And at this point, Harry and Cubby have been kissing on stage regularly, and the internet is eating it up. Cubby,
Icky.
meanwhile, yeah, none of this feels good. None of it feels good. Cubby, meanwhile, is seeing what this act is costing her. One of the photos is making rounds online showing Harry and Cubby kissing, while Darcy is visible in the background, deliberately looking away. Can you imagine all of your shit playing out on your phone like that? Like, this is so bad for her. This is so bad for her mental health.
Yeah.
Awful. The band plays another huge show in New York, and for the first time in forever, Cubby and Darcy almost kind of feel normal again while they're performing. Music is still the place where they find each other and understand each other best. This show in particular is perfect, and the stage was on fire. After the set, Darcy rushes over and hugs her while still on stage, and she kisses Cubby on the cheek and whispers and yells to her, let's be real, yells to her that she was brilliant. Cubby says, quote, "My fingers fly to my cheek, holding that kiss in place like I can brand it to my skin. I have to keep my hand there because otherwise it would jerk out. gripping Darcy's dress, bringing her back into me until her lips land straight on mine, where they belong, end quote. Wow. Incredible.
The yearning.
I'll eat it up every time. Harry walks over right after and tries to kiss her, but Cubby turns her head at the last second and he ends up kissing her cheek instead. And I put here, that's probably the clearest indication yet that whatever's happening between her and Harry is not working the way she wants to.
Correct.
This is not it, sister. After the show, the band heads outside to sign autographs and immediately they get swarmed. Cubby hates every second of it. The people are shoving things at them, yelling questions, taking photos, and treating them like public property, basically. Harry naturally steps in to help calm her down, which only makes the crowd freak out more. Someone yells out a question about Connor. Quote, any bad blood between you and Connor for stealing his girl? End quote. And Harry takes this opportunity to immediately shut it down. He says, quote, the only bad blood between us is for the shit way he's treated the people I care about, end quote. I need to
He's
pause.
right for that.
He's very right for that, but like I feel like he is definitely like riding the high of all of this working out. He is ultimately getting what he wants. He likes Cubby. He has romantic feelings for Cubby, and he now has proximity to her, now forced, unfortunately. But their fame is ramping up. Like everything that they've worked for is ramping up. So he's probably riding the high of all of this. And well, this was the right thing to do regardless. Like I'm sure this is probably stroking his ego in a real way. I don't know. I think low of men.
And he's, of course, forced proximity. He's thinking like, if we fake it, she's gonna fall in love with me and realize
fake
that
it
I
hard
can
enough,
open up this portal of dreams for her. 100%.
Right. They head back to the bus where food is delivered by Kevin, our king. Cubby realizes her phone's dead, and then something shifts between Cubby and Darcy. They lie in their bunks facing each other and end up holding hands across the gap between them. And Cubby feels more relief from that than she does from kissing Harry. And she falls asleep holding Darcy's hand. And this is like one of those moments,
platonically.
I think, again. Platonically, guys. Platonically. But like she's
Platonically.
really understanding the effect of trying to just get through this and how it's how it's really deeply affecting her and her psyche. And I think it's again, like these past couple of chapters have been really solidifying for Cubby, and like she needs to do something about it because this is just not something that she can continue with. She unfortunately though wakes up in the middle of the night and immediately reaches for her phone. She starts reading articles again and starts spiraling about how every headline is about Connor, Harry, the relationship, the drama, literally anything except the actual music at hand. And finally she reaches a breaking point and doesn't want to be reduced to somebody's ex or somebody's girlfriend anymore. It's solidified with her now. She deeply understands like this is not what it's going to be about. She has to write her own path. Before she can do that, though, she gets a notification that Connor's going live. And yes, she's still following him. She tunes in.
She's the cool girl that doesn't care.
Right. She has to keep up this facade. She knows it'd be more drama if she unfollowed him. I think that she said that.
Yeah.
So it's like, which is all very true. She hits us with this hilarious quote that we both pulled.
I just read it.
She says, I had it in my Kindle and I pulled it up. I was like, yes, sis. She says, quote, he reminds me of Hosier without the feminism or Bog Daddy sex appeal. Because that's my Bog Daddy.
Just an idiot with an acoustic guitar then. Great.
That. On this live, Connor announces that he's stepping away from social media and focusing on his upcoming world tour. I gotta focus on my mental health, and like things have kind of been messy and you've seen the mess in the media, and I just like I gotta focus on my world tour. This is my passion. Like he's the guy on the fucking
It's just
life.
a humble brag. He's like, and by the way, my world tour. Loser.
Right. So that happens. Cubby is so fucking annoyed at the moment, and then right after she hops off, her phone buzzes again, and it's a text from Connor asking her to talk. I puked in my mouth.
Puke. My note says puke, all caps.
Let's unfortunately jump to chapter 21. Against every instinct she has, Cubby agrees to meet with Connor. She shows up at his fancy hotel, already knowing that this is all a horrible idea.
This also really showcases her isolation, where she decides to go meet him and does not tell anyone. Because she She sees this path she's on and she knows how the band treats her. So she's like, I'll just go handle this.
Right.
And we can all lay low.
So the second he opens the door, they're already bickering and arguing. He's trying to get past this, and he kind of just tries to get right to the point. He says his label wants them to work together. And apparently, they think it would be good publicity if they collaborated, spent time together, and kind of leaned into the whole attention they're both getting. And in this moment, he even has audacity to suggest that he helped make her famous. This whole exchange.
Okay, Kanye, fuck off.
Right. Like, this whole exchange is so misogynistic, jumping into the conversation and knowing that nothing's changed. I think emboldened Cubby to be like, this is my fucking chance, because he is going to hear it in some capacity. He is controlling the media. He's controlling the narrative. But what I can do is tell him about himself.
Oh.
And she does that. So Cubby is understandably furious. They have a back and forth, and she calls him out for stealing her lyrics. He then, again, like he does, tries to minimize it, claiming that he was in the room when they wrote the song and that they're old anyway. She shouldn't be hung up on it. According to Connor, it's, quote, not that deep, which is like the worst. It's right up there with like calm down.
Gaslighter.
Gaslight.
But also, he is gaslighting her. And because he says right here, too, oh, you love to dwell on the past. You stole, take some accountability for it, and then making her feel crazy for being upset. Oh.
The rage. Yes, this is pure rage.
Female rage.
I'm with you, Cubby. Yeah, he tells her she's dwelling on the past, and this makes Cubby absolutely unload on him. She says, quote, I have bit my tongue so many times with you. It's a miracle I can even speak, end quote. Then she tells him exactly what he took from her, quote, you wanted my words, but never the person that came with them, end quote. I am so proud of her for saying that, because that's the truth.
Same.
You wanted everything that I could offer, and you wanted all of my talent, and you wanted access to me in that capacity. You wanted to use me, but you never wanted actually the person that was inside. You didn't want me. And I'm so glad that she got to say this. Of course, Connor predictably gives her nothing back. He's very just like blasé about this whole thing, which also enrages me. He's like, this feels like a chore. Right. So she's just about done with it. She heads to leave, and he offers to walk her downstairs. She's like, I don't want you to, but he does anyway. And right before she goes, he puts his forehead against her. He's holding her against her will. She cannot get out. This is like, I remember hearing this and like feeling like I was choking, so I felt awful for her. He's holding her. He's like purposely holding her in this moment.
He's like holding her, the back of her head and her neck.
Back of her head. Yes, so she cannot move. And then he kisses her on the cheek. And as she pushes him away, she realizes why he did it. There's paparazzi outside, and this asshole invited her all for a publicity stunt.
I have goosebumps. I'm so enraged. I know how it resolves, and I'm upset. There's tears welling in my eyes.
Mad. How the
Cubby
audacity
is just
of men.
so fucking vulnerable, and not everyone knows it, but we have the opportunity to know it. And it's just so hurtful to watch her get treated like this when she needs support, and she is just put in situation after situation in the worst fucking way.
Right. And the part that's upsetting to her safe people that have been her safe people are kind of deteriorating around her. And like she got a glimpse of feeling grounded again by talking with Oliver and Tilly. But I feel like every time that she goes up, she's knocked down 4 pegs. Like she just does not get the opportunity to feel good. So that's where we're going to leave you. You're so welcome.
Have fun.
Have fun with that. That's how I felt. Just awfulness. This is still a cozy romance, but I think there's so many layers to this, and is why I think I love Mazey as a writer. This is what the same feeling I had in Late Bloomer. You have all these things working against these characters, but yet they still come out and are better for it. So just know that Cubby does feel better. At this point, I was like, give her a break. I'm like begging for her to have a break at this point. And that's something I think Mazey's also good at, is torturing these characters with love, because some of this is also like internal work.
Of course.
This is like internal work too. This is like mental health stuff. This is like identity stuff, but like It's torturous because she has to really work for it. So there's a piece of
Right.
that, but also stop making her
Right.
sad.
And I know that me and you talked about the author's note in the last episode.
Ooh, yeah.
This is one of those characters that was living in Mazey's head, and she could not
Right.
tell this story any other way but telling her truth. And I love when authors speak of these characters as people that exist in their head like this, because
Same.
not this brain, but for her to tell this story the way she did, like she rewrote this over and over and over again over the course of years to tell Cubby's truth.
Exactly. Well said. Yeah, and definitely read that author's note because, as you know, some people don't get into I love to read anything that they want to provide me with for a look inside of their process. And now, like, especially with the opportunity to like interview authors, it feels really cool to be part of that process in a small way, because I know that's so intimate and it's so personal. So I
very much
that
agreed.
they share. So you ready for some
Same.
reviews? Let's read the read.
You ready to read the read?
Read
Do you want me to go
Mama.
first? Or do you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I have a 5-star review from Mimi on Fable. And this queen wrote, as someone who struggled with their own queer identity, this book hit close to home. I absolutely loved Cubby, but Darcy was definitely my favorite character from this book. And I think it's because they were very similar. I read this immersively. And if you're used to listening to audiobooks on 2x speed, just know that you're going to want to slow it down for this one, because there's some truly amazing music in the audiobook. I slowed mine down to about 1.3 to 1.5. So a diva for the audiobook. I'm sure it is, because music gets crazy sped up.
Yes.
But I loved this little nod to everything we've been talking about, how great the audiobook is, the characters, and like the queer journey of it all. It really popped for me.
Love it. I have one that resonates after this episode. I think I was trying to find something that really hit on how I was feeling. So this one's a little longer. So this is on Storygraph. So Paulina gave it 3.75, which is just might be the way she writes, but she was very excited to talk about this. She says, capitals, this was messy. It was fast-paced, full of drama and confused feelings. You're really in for a ride. She says, look, this was so frustrating. The characters had me banging my head on the wall. Did they make for an entertaining story? Yes. Worth the torture of their woes and dramatics, but oh my God. I had to remind myself many times how young they all were. But literally, these kids could not communicate at all. And when they did, it was never healthy and in a productive way. It was always one step forward and 10 steps back. I'm so happy they found their way in the end. The epilogue was very cute.
Yeah.
They do find their way. I feel like that really captures how I feel, especially about Cubby and her experience. It just always feels like she is getting somewhere and then getting knocked down a couple pegs. So
right. And their miscommunication really makes the whole journey worth it.
Right. I think the miscommunication trope is not everyone's favorite, but I feel like it's more grounded in reality. So like I'm cool with it. And I know that's like not everyone's favorite thing. So that might have been why it was knocked down. But I truly think that this is an amazing book and well written. So
very
you just got a little baby.
Oh, I just got a little baby. And with
that, all right, divas.
All right, divas, rate, review. Thanks for sticking around. Look at Aaliyah's giant water bottle if you're on video. Look at my cat if you're on video.
I'm hydrated as fuck.
Diva.
Say bye. I'll see you at the library, mama.
Oh, see you at the library. I wish she'd do one meow into the mic.
Give us one.